Why are Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds pretending they're skipping the Met Gala tonight instead of just acknowledging they weren't invited?
Blake Lively is allegedly in full meltdown mode after being quietly rejected from the 2025 Met Gala. Yes, you read that right. The queen of fashion, the woman who once co-chaired the very same event, has now been blacklisted. And not in a whispered, maybe she's bootsy kind of way. No, this was a cold, calculated, lock the doors moment from the Met elite. She didn't skip the gala, she was shut out.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds didn't attend the Met Gala. But were they rejected from it?
Sources say she wasn't just busy, she was blacklisted. Period. From the outside, you might think it's just another celeb missing an event, but oh honey, the tea is scalding. This isn't absence, this is exile.
They just didn't really want to put themselves out there with all of the scandal.
From the plantation wedding backlash to resurfaced blackface skits and cringy fake family stories, Blake's perfectly polished public image has gone up in smoke. And don't even get us started on how Justin Baldoni's charity somehow got dragged into this chaos and crumbled right along with her reputation.
Sad news, Justin Baldoni's foundation is shutting down.
Blake wants us to believe she just decided to stay home this year. Girl, please. The PR spin is laughable. According to TMZ, People, and Us Weekly, her team started planting that fake "we're not attending this year" excuse way back in March. That's right, March 21st, 2024, plotting months in advance to avoid a public rejection.
Blake and Ryan won't be at tonight's Met Gala. The couple's plans were revealed in March by multiple outlets, including TMZ. On March 21st, a source told Us Weekly that the news is actually not surprising, saying she's not a Kardashian that goes every year.
Just early enough to try and pre-spin the snub. And instead of giving a real reason, they fed the press that fluffy nonsense. Scheduling conflicts and just taking a year off. Oh, really? This is the woman who lives for the red carpet, who has literally salivated over Met Gala moments for a decade. And now we're supposed to believe she just casually skipped the biggest night in fashion? Bye.
Blake and Ryan haven't gone since 2022 when they were co-chairs, and they will not be in attendance this year.
Let's not play dumb. This is the second year in a row Blake and Ryan ghosted the Met Gala. 2 years back to back? That's not a coincidence. That's fashion exile. Don't forget, this woman co-chaired the event in 2022. Co-chair. And now, poof, she vanished.
The Met Gala, she's obsessed with being seen. You know she wants to go.
Gone like she was never part of that carpet royalty she once reigned over. Oh. You don't go from being handpicked by Anna Wintour to suddenly spending the night at home in sweatpants. Unless something went very, very wrong.
Just saying that they're not going. Okay? They don't give a reason. It's just random. They're not going. This woman who loves fashion, who, you know, whether you like her fashion or not, I think it's abhorrent.
And oh baby, let's talk about that theme. The 2024 Met Gala celebrated Black dandyism, cultural influence, and fine tailoring rooted in history and real social meaning. Not plantation cosplay and aestheticized antebellum muffins, which unfortunately is exactly the mess Blake Lively's name is tied to.
Got this Time Magazine Civil Rights Titan Award and all of that. We know the woman has done blackface. We know the woman got married on plantation. We know she only got the Time Magazine thing because she donated money to the NAACP.
The second that theme was announced, anyone with a functioning brain knew Blake Lively was not about to be front and center. Not after everything. Her showing up would have been an actual contradiction in couture.
Like, why? Why do you have to make up stories like that? I just don't get it.
Now, let's rewind to the event that started her downfall, that infamous 2012 wedding. A literal southern plantation, not a rustic barn, not a historical venue, a site where enslaved people were tortured and killed. And Blake thought it was the perfect romantic backdrop.
They just didn't really want to put themselves out there with all of the scandal. But there also could be another side plot, you know, with the speculation and the opinion that maybe they were not welcome.
She had the nerve to call it rustic elegance. Girl, what? She never really apologized either. Nope, she tried to buy redemption. Tossed some money to the NAACP and boom, magically ended up with a Time 100 Civil Rights Titan Award. A woman who posted antebellum muffin recipes on her blog is suddenly a symbol of progress? Is the bar in hell?
Calling out hypocrisy amongst the powerful people in Hollywood. She's not talking about women in power. She is protecting women in power. And instead, she is going after women just like herself who's trying to make a living from being creators here.
And we're not even close to done. Remember her awful skit on SNL? Yeah, the one where she put on a cheap wig, exaggerated accent, and mocked black women. That performance has been wiped from the internet harder than a politician's burner phone. But guess what? People still find it. It's floating around, and it's just as cringy today as it was then.
I could see, what's her name that runs the thing? Who's the designer?
Anna Wintour?
I could see Anna Wintour being like, Blake, you are not coming this year. Like, there's no...
Because the internet never forgets. And the Met Gala organizers didn't either. They saw the plantation wedding, they saw the racial mockery, they saw the fake progressivism, and they said nope. They locked the damn doors before she could even RSVP.
Black style, the celebration of black dandyism and the influence of black style in the fashion industry history. So, given, her blueberry slave muffins, her wedding at a plantation, I could imagine why they wouldn't.
Imagine the press fallout if Blake had tried to spin that into another I'm growing moment. Nope, this wasn't going to be another Blake redemption arc in glitter heels. Not this time.
Close to the couple says the choice to pass in this year's gala came before the lawsuit, has nothing to do with it. And for what it's worth, Blake and Ryan aren't shying away from public appearances.
And the whispers? Oh, honey, they're getting louder. According to Popcorn Planet's Andy Signoray, the truth is out. Blake and Ryan didn't skip the gala. They were never invited. From co-chair in 2022 to completely ghosted by 2024. That's not a slip, that's a plummet.
I think we can prove they weren't invited. I mean, really? I don't think this is the year to bring Blake Lively. I mean,
yeah.
I agree with you. Like, maybe it was her reps.
Worse still, it was Anna Wintour herself who allegedly gave the final no thanks. When Anna ices you out, that's it. Your Met Gala card is permanently revoked. You don't come back from that.
Their absence was noted.
Yeah, I think we can prove they weren't invited. I mean, really? I don't think this is the year.
While real stars, yes, we said it, real stars like Coleman Domingo and Zaya Wade were slaying the theme, Blake was at home pretending to be unbothered. Carefully curated off-duty mom selfies. And this girl, we know you were foaming at the mouth watching the live stream.
We know. They've been everywhere. She's not a Kardashian that goes every year, is what she previously... This sounds like a lot of defense.
Oh, and the memes? Iconic! Someone actually made an AI image of Blake in full-on plantation blueberry couture, muffin tray in hand, awkward grin and all. And the sad part? People believed it was real.
Isn't it kind of crazy how this could actually be something she might wear?
That's how bad the branding has failed. When folks genuinely think a slavery-themed spoof could be something you'd actually wear to the Met Gala, it's over. You're no longer iconic. You're a meme.
And of course, she brought a tray of blueberry slavery muffins for everyone to have because she just wants to romanticize that deep South history of how the blues came from and where it came from and the blueberries from the blue.
This wasn't a quiet exit. It was a fashion shutdown, a public PR smackdown wrapped in sequins. Blake Lively didn't just lose an invite. She lost credibility. Even her fake daughter birthday stories couldn't save her. Yep, she went on Seth Meyers and tried to rewrite the damn calendar. She claimed her daughter shared a birthday with Napoleon Bonaparte and Jennifer Lawrence. Like, what? Turns out, none of her kids were even born in August. Not one. James is December 16, Inez is September 30, Betty is October 4, and baby number 4 is February 12. Ezamono, not even close, sis. Why lie? To sound cute? To seem quirky? Or maybe, just maybe, because Blake is desperate to stay relevant in a world that's finally stopped playing along. Let's be real. Lying about your daughter's birthday to bond with Napoleon and Jennifer Lawrence? That's not quirky. That's deranged. And what makes it worse? Ryan Reynolds co-signed the lie during a Variety interview. Just nodded along and kept the story going like it was some cute couple improv game. Who does that? These two treat interviews like audition tapes. Smile, wink, tell a wild lie, and hope no one checks. Except we did. And the internet, especially accounts like Elsie and Melanie King, had receipts. All it took was a Google search. But apparently, Blake thought the world was too dumb or too dazzled by her gowns to notice. She's even admitted in interviews that Ryan just makes things up and she doesn't even correct him. They're the kind of couple who'd fake a birth certificate just to get on a magazine cover. Like, we get it. You want to seem interesting. But honey, lying isn't personality, and it's all part of a bigger pattern. Plantation wedding, PR lies, SNL sketch, and then like clockwork, she's suddenly on the cover of Vogue, talking about motherhood, strength, and feminism, usually right before launching a new product or dropping a movie trailer. She literally monetizes everything. Red carpets, branded, interviews, scripted. Even her trauma is wrapped in high fashion and dumped into your feed like a sponsored ad. Meanwhile, creators and influencers, especially women, get penalized for speaking up. But not Blake. She keeps smiling, keeps cashing checks, and pretends none of it's happening. Now let's talk about Justin Baldoni. While she's strutting around in couture, the man is in hiding, literally off-grid in Hawaii, watching everything he built burn. The Wayfair Foundation, a charity he co-founded with billionaire Steve Sarowitz, is gone. And you know why? Legal fees. Yep, the lawsuit between Blake and Justin drained the accounts like a busted faucet. This wasn't some minor PR slap fight. This was scorched earth. The foundation didn't just lose credibility, it collapsed. They released a statement saying they'd honor current grants while winding down. Translation, they're scrambling to clean up the ashes and not look like total failures. And what's Blake doing? Reflecting? Apologizing? Please. She's out here doing press tours for Another Simple Favor 2 like it's her Oscar campaign, smiling for cameras while her former partner is dodging court summons. Let's be clear, nobody even asks for Another Simple Favor 2, not the fans, not the critics, not even the director. But Blake made it her comeback moment. Every premiere, every panel, every damn selfie, she was everywhere, pretending like the internet wasn't ripping her to shreds in real time. And plot twist? The movie bombed. Critics called it a PR hallucination, a 2-hour mood board for Blake's wardrobe. Behind the scenes, an actual nightmare. Rumors say she hijacked the editing room from Baldoni, missed production meetings, delayed everything, and when the pressure hit, she magically got sick. But not too sick to party with Taylor Swift in Vegas days later. It's giving Regina George runs a studio. The delusion is audible. While Justin was trying to keep his foundation alive, Blake was playing Fashion Week bingo. Paris one day, LA the next, handing out autographs like she was a war hero instead of the reason the charity is gone. And let's not forget the optics. Baldoni is silent, tired, grieving. Oik! Sparkling like nothing happened. Even her own publicist must be updating their LinkedIn at this point, because nothing screams, I'm hurting, like 3 cities in 1 week decked out in sequins. So again, we ask, who's the victim here? Because from where we're sitting, Blake is out here spinning like a washing machine on turbo, praying the public doesn't connect the dots. But we did, and the dots, they form a giant blinking warning sign. And then there's the cherry on top. The infamous Woody Allen interview from 2016, the one we all tried to forget. She was promoting his film And when a Norwegian journalist asked her a very fair question, she rolled her eyes like the poor guy had insulted her dog. The arrogance was blinding. At the time, no one posted the clip because, of course, Hollywood protects its golden girls. But now, that clip has gone viral. And let me tell you, it's not pretty. YouTubers and gossip channels are dissecting it like it's a crime scene. Frame by frame, the entitlement is unmistakable. And naturally, the YouTube drama exploded. Opie Doy accused Sash Flo of chasing clout for posting the clip, but turns out Opie had already used the clip on her own channel. Feminist unity? Haha. Meanwhile, Sash Flo, the actual originator, came swinging. She said she couldn't post it back then because she'd be blacklisted. But now, we're done protecting elites, period. And she was right. That clip didn't show a one-time slip, it exposed a pattern. This wasn't Blake having a bad day, this was Blake being Blake. And here's the real kicker. Blake was the one who went public first with allegations against Baldoni. She tried to flip the script, paint herself as the wounded one. But the receipts, they just kept pouring in. From plantation chic to falsified birthdays, from fake woke activism to lawsuits. It all leads to one moment, the Met Gala snub. Because let's be honest, this wasn't just a we're staying home this year moment. This was a rejection letter from the entire fashion industry. The Met Gala didn't just say no to a dress, they said no to her. No to the curated PR machine. No to the faux empowerment. No to the lies dressed up in Chanel. They said, you don't get to wear the culture you mocked. You don't get to erase history with Pinterest boards and muffin trays. And you sure as hell don't get to call yourself a civil rights titan because you donated to the NAACP after a scandal you caused. Even Anna Wintour didn't have to make a statement. She didn't need to. Her silence was the statement. When Anna freezes you out, you're done. You don't get a redemption arc. Ask any washed up Met Gala darling. Once that spotlight moves, it doesn't swing back. And no one even missed her. The internet didn't light up with "Where's Blake" comments. The press didn't cry over her absence. Her team, maybe, probably in full panic mode, refreshing comment sections praying for mercy, but everyone else moved on. And finally, let's talk about the fans. The same people who once worshipped her looks, her cool mom energy, her couple gold status with Ryan Reynolds, they're done. The comments aren't cute anymore. They're sharp, pulled, blunt. The way they dissect her now is given true crime investigation. The media, no longer protecting her. Former allies quietly cutting ties. The headlines have shifted from Blake slays red carpet to Blake's crisis deepens. The Met Gala used to be her playground. Now, she's not even allowed in the sandbox. So no, this wasn't about a missed party. This was a total brand implosion masquerading as a scheduling conflict. A queen dethroned not by one scandal, but by a relentless avalanche of receipts. And for once, Blake couldn't spin it.